Welcome back to another episode of the Inclusive Campus Podcast. I am your host, Sochiata, and today we have reached a very special milestone, episode 12. This episode is close to my heart because we are discussing the bridge between potential and achievement, adapting curriculum for special needs college students. We are joined today by the esteemed Mr. Sarawin, a pioneer in educational accessibility. Welcome, Sarawin.
Thank you so much, Sochiata. It is truly an honor to be here. You know, every time I walk into a lecture hall and see a student who has been given the right tools to succeed, my heart just swells with pride. We aren't just changing lessons, we are changing lives.
That is so true. I often think about the students who enter higher education with so much ambition, yet they face these invisible walls. Mr. Sarawin, when we talk about adapting curriculum, what does that actually feel like for a professor who is doing it for the first time?
Honestly, it can feel overwhelming at first. Many educators are afraid they might water down the content. But then there's this aha moment. They realize that making a syllabus more flexible doesn't make it easier, it makes it smarter. It's like clearing a path through a forest so everyone can reach the same mountaintop, regardless of how they walk.
I love that analogy, clearing the path. I remember a student I worked with last semester who struggled with traditional timed exams due to severe anxiety and processing delays. When her professor allowed her to demonstrate her knowledge through a video project instead, she didn't just pass, she excelled. She was literally glowing with confidence.
That is exactly the magic we are looking for, that glow. It's about universal design for learning, or UDL. We have to move away from the one-size-fits-all mentality. Think about it. Why do we insist on a 3-hour written essay if the goal is to test their understanding of history? If a student can explain the fall of an empire through a recorded podcast or a structured debate, haven't they met the learning objective?
It sounds so logical when you put it that way. But what about the technical side? For students with visual or hearing impairments, the digital curriculum can sometimes be even more isolating if it's not designed right. How do we tackle that frustration?
It starts with empathy and ends with technology. We cannot treat accessibility as an afterthought or a favor we do for a student. It must be baked into the design from day one. Using alt text for images, ensuring videos have high-quality captions, and making sure screen readers don't get stuck on messy PDF layouts. When a student can't access their reading materials, it's a form of heartbreak. They feel excluded from the conversation before it even starts.
I've seen that look of exclusion. It's a quiet withdrawal. They stop showing up because the effort to just see the material is more exhausting than the material itself. We have to be better than that.
But we are getting better. I'm seeing a shift in faculty culture. More professors are coming to me asking, how can I make my PowerPoint more accessible? Or can you help me record my lectures so students can pause and rewind? That willingness to learn is where the hope lies. It's a beautiful thing to see an old school professor embrace new age inclusivity.
It really is. And let's talk about the neurodivergent students, those with ADHD or autism. The traditional lecture format can be a sensory nightmare for them. What are some small, feeling-focused changes we can make to the environment?
It's about creating a safe space for the mind. Simple things like providing a clear visual agenda for every class can lower anxiety significantly, allowing for fidget tools or breaks without judgment. When a student feels safe, their brain can actually engage with the curriculum. If they are in survival mode because the lights are too bright or the instructions are too vague, they can't learn. We need to lead with kindness.
Lead with kindness. That should be the motto for every university. I think sometimes we get so caught up in academic rigor that we forget we are teaching human beings with complex emotions and different nervous systems.
Warmly nodding. Precisely. I remember a student who told me that the most important adaptation a teacher ever made wasn't a piece of software. It was the teacher saying, "I believe in you and we will find a way to make this work." That emotional safety net gave him the courage to tackle the hardest subjects.
That's so powerful. It really does come down to that human connection. Before we wrap up this episode, Mr. Sarawin, if there is one teacher or administrator listening who feels like they don't have the resources to change everything at once, what is your message to them?
My message is this: start small, but start today. You don't need $1 million grant to be flexible. Change one assignment, offer one alternative. Ask your students, what can I do to help you learn better? The curriculum isn't a stone tablet, it's a living document. Let it breathe and let your students breathe with it. You have the power to turn a student's "I can't" into "I did."
What a perfect note to end on. Mr. Sarowin, thank you for your wisdom and your heart. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us for episode 12. Remember, inclusivity isn't a checkbox. It's a commitment to the potential in every single student. Until next time, keep opening doors.
Warmly waving. Thank you, Sochiata. Keep up the great work, everyone. It's worth it.
This has been The Inclusive Campus. Stay tuned for our next episode where we explore the role of peer mentorship in special education. Take care of yourselves and each other.